Hey Gemini, it's Kendrick from Providence, and I'm going to be giving you your proofread for the month of July. I'm using the Archangel Power Tarot by Doreen Virtue, the Romance Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue, the Archangel Oracle by Doreen Virtue, and the Keepers of the Light Oracle by Kyle Gray. Let's look at your first card. Seven of Raphael. Okay. So the sevens have to do with moving on from something, leaving something behind. And it's kind of like being an emotional warrior for yourself, because this is Scorpio and it's ruled by Mars and Pluto. But it also talks about the struggle and the opposing emotional energy of trying to please, others, or trying to, just not feeling good enough, right? So there's a little bit of confusion there, right? A little bit of emotional disillusion, right? So you could be convincing yourself of something that may not be true, emotionally, right? Venus is the goddess of love, right? Beauty, harmony, and peace. So we could be experiencing that because we feel the conflict within ourselves, but it's almost like we don't know what to do about it, right? We're feeling so many different things. There's so many different levels to this. And we feel like it's almost out of our hands or out of our control. But you have to remember, because this card has something to do with memories, you have to remember where you do have the power and where you do have the control. And sometimes it's as pure as knowing what that is within yourself, right? And knowing how contagious that is, right? You may not be able to reach the people that you want to, with 1 degree of separation. If that makes any sense. I'm talking about like on sort of like, I don't know, a larger scale, right? Because these sevens have to do with all things and how all things relate, but all things factor in and all things lead back to you. So it's not necessarily about the relationships. It's about how you feel about the relationships and what these feelings have exposed you to and what they have taught you and what you are still learning in real time. So everything isn't clear. So be patient with yourself, with your emotions, and try not to convince yourself of the victimhood, right? That comes from it, right? Yeah. Be careful out there, you guys, right? Find healthy ways, good ways, progressive ways of dealing with your emotions, Make friends with them, right? But also you have to be able to tell them when they're being, ridiculous, right? When you're being ridiculous. Okay? And this is also not letting yourself be controlled by the emotional energy of other people. And you not trying to control others with your emotional energy, because it goes both ways with these sevens, You're trying to get to emotional fulfillment. And emotional fulfillment comes through acknowledging our own emotions, right? And being able to use that emotional guidance, as a tool to navigate through our lives more efficiently, okay? And then it allows us to be more decisive about the things that we want and don't want. You know, your hardship, the adversity, the depression, it is opening you up to something that you have always felt, but you have not necessarily really known the meaning. But now you know the meaning. You're coming into that, you know? Yeah. And that's great, because you're maturing emotionally, but it doesn't necessarily feel that great, because you could be admitting some things to yourself that you might have been trying to run away from. Romance Angels Oracle. Codependency. Definitely connected to the Seven of Cups, right? And this could be addictions. It could be drugs, alcohol, sex, you know? Could be addicted to like the dramatization of the victimhood. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So both of these are connected to addictions, Gemini. Sun, moon, or rising. Or if your sun is in your third house, or you have a stellium in your third house. You know, you could even have Mercury in your third house, and that could be giving you Gemini energy, you know. So yeah, definitely. It could be some friends, right? With those relationships, right? And you're realizing, it could be friends, it could be, I don't necessarily see it as being a family member, but I see it as being someone that you maybe once had a relationship with, right? It could be an ex that has an addiction. Or you could be the ex that has the addiction that the other person who's watching this reading that might be a cross watcher is watching. You know what I mean? But this definitely, most certainly, is connected to that in some kind of way. And I feel like you've been thinking about it a lot. Someone has something going on, because both of these cards are talking about addictions and needing to detox. The Seven of Raphael says, time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detoxification. So some of you might need to pull away from someone that has an addiction or something like that. You might need to detox from someone that has a toxic kind of like personality, right? And you could be addicted to them, but realize that they are toxic in some kind of way, right? Or vice versa. And now the codependency is the reason why it's difficult to pull away from the toxicity, because you're so used to it, right? You know? Let's see what your Archangel Oracle card is. Gentleness. That ain't gentle, the pow pow pow. Archangel Sandalphon. So maybe some of you need to also burn some sandalwood. Be very gentle with yourself at this time, right? That's what the card says. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. So if some of you are reading your own tarot cards, you could be pulling up the Three of Cups a lot. And that is kind of like what that energy gives me from this. Also, I feel like you should be listening to classic guitar. I believe that Bach has classic guitar, and also maybe Mozart. I don't think he does, but I think Bach does. You know, Brahms might. So listen to some classic guitar, or maybe some acoustic guitar. Jose Gonzalez is a singer who also plays guitar. Very Spanish sounding. A classic guitar, classical guitar, right? Listen to some of that. It's the fourth. The Kyle Gray Keepers of the Light Oracle, open communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. So whoever has the addiction, maybe you should reach out to them, unless it's not a healthy connection to make, right? Or to initiate. Mercury does talk about being honest and open with yourself, right? And Mercury is also talking about efficiency. It is the messenger of the gods, right? It's the closest thing to the sun that we know of, other than Vulcan, and some other, I'm sure, bodies out there, astrological bodies, debris maybe, rocks, large rocks. But Mercury is also connected to Venus, right? So maybe we need to communicate with the mother about something. Maybe we need to talk to the mother about something. Maybe we need to talk to the sibling about something. Maybe we need to talk to this person who we know has the addiction, I guess. It could definitely be someone that you maybe used to date. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because, like, it's Mercury, and we're thinking of Mercury as, like, Gemini or Virgo, but I think, like, you know, the lovers, and then I think Cupid, and then I think Psyche, and I think Eros, you know? So yeah. This could be a crush, too, right? Mercury, open communication, get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, but this definitely is talking to somebody about something. If you're in therapy and you want to bring up your addiction to your therapist, go ahead and do that. Yeah, some of you probably do just need to go to therapy. Because, like, Mercury, open communication, get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. So, yeah, that's definitely therapy to me. You know, Mercury is the brain, it's the psyche, and I just brought that up. So your psychologist, your psychiatrist, it definitely is the brain. You know, sometimes communicating something could take a risk. I did it earlier this week with a friend that I just made. Well, it's interesting because, like, I saw this person like 3 years ago, maybe even more than that, just in passing. Anyway, yeah. Thanks, Gemini.